What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2018. I would say 2021. Let's go past to present. 2018 Best Podcast New. I even got that wrong. 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Doveman Plus Care. And being part of that team, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to see you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And we are starting something brand new tonight. And it's really, like I just say, don't get good, get done. We're starting brand new. We're starting a new live conversation called Black Men Can Talk. And it's a show where Black Canadian men come together to heal, to have real unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community. And it wouldn't happen without one of the gentlemen here, Kofi Sadat, and another gentleman who's not with us today. But Sadat, thank you so much for pushing. This has been a long time in the making.
Long time coming. And we're letting people know, the stereotype that Black men don't talk. But we're trying to buck that stereotype from the first conversation. Black men can talk. And again, this is conversations with community, with Black men and the people that love them, as you say, and support them. Again, I am Kofi Sadat from Scarpod Studio, also ENSA Community. And yes, my brother Kofi is on the jet plane right now. So he won't be joining us today. But definitely next Sunday at 8 p.m. and every Sunday at 8 p.m., you can catch us right here at the Dr. Vibe Show for the special Black Men Can Talk. And I just can't wait. I'm so excited. I reached out to some folks and they're like, yeah, it's a long time coming. So
yes,
we're going to definitely kick it off as an intro show.
Yeah.
Letting people know, man, we're here. We're out here.
Well, absolutely. And yes, it's a kickoff show. So it's rough. And we just said, you know what? We were supposed to have some things. I said, you know what? Kofi Sadat knows, don't get good, get done. Well, let's just start something and get it starting and start momentum. How long have you wanted to do this for?
Day one. Day one. So day one, in terms of, I've always had a passion, for working with my community, first of all, the Black community, but also a passion, and we've connected before, right? Around working with Black men, Black boys, Black fathers, uncles, whatever the case is, really being able to elevate their voices in spaces. So, as long as I known that you've been doing the podcast, I said, yeah, we need to do something that's especially for the brothers. And again, everybody can tune in, but we want to elevate some voices across the country. So please get ready for some interesting conversations.
Well, we're not here to be bored. We're not here to bore you.
No. It's not gonna be a boring piece.
It's not gonna be boring. I just for myself, I'd rather be dead than bored. So, you
wouldn't know the difference if you were dead. So that's all good.
Well, but before we go any further, I know a number of people you told all this, but what about the people you haven't told? What can you give them a little bit of your background?
Yeah, for sure. So, again, I'm known, probably by the English name, Paul Osbourne, but also I go by the name of Kofi Sadat. So, a lot of the work that I've come up doing, as I mentioned before, has been to work in our community. I specifically work from, a culturally centered space, an African-centered space. So some of the work that I've done, even today, I was doing a session with one of my brethrens, Yao, aka Tugs.
Oh, yes, we got to get him on the show.
He's gonna come on.
Good.
You might see him next week. You just might. There's a strong opportunity, right?
No, we need to have him on. We need his voice and his heart and his soul.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. So some of the work we've been doing in community has been around rites of passage. And I'm going to bring Tugs on to come and explain a little bit more. But rites of passage basically are the different transitions and stages of life. And one of the things that happened, of course, in the slave trade is that we lost a lot of our culture. and a lot of who we are. And one of the things that we did have was a rites of passage. So basically, a way of knowing when we're making that transition from childhood to adulthood. So I've been doing that work for about 20 years, and now I've
Yeah.
restarted the community process. Today we had some great young men come through and their parents, just really kind of figuring out, learning information about what rites of passage is. So we're going to be talking about some of that. So a lot of my work, again, is culturally centered pieces around engaging, Black youth and families at a whole. So I'm very excited to share some of my experiences and to bring on some folks that also have been doing some work in that space. So that's where I'm coming from. And again, of course, we did have an opportunity to work together with young and potential fathers,
Yes.
um, in terms of, being the black or only father focused space across the
Okay.
country.
Canada. Yeah. And so I think it
And
still is.
it is, right. So we're going to definitely even relive some of that journey, some of that connection. You also supported as an elder the rites of passage process as well. So
Yes.
there's a lot of
I actually went
connections.
through I went through the first elders one that you ever had.
There you go. There
And I
you
still
go.
have the trophy in the back here standing up.
All
Uh,
right.
Let me ask Poe, why is culture so important to our people, in your opinion?
Yeah. I would say culture is so important because culture centers us. And everything we do, whether consciously or unconsciously, is connected to culture. So something as simple as the food that we eat, right? The way that we talk, the way that we understand each other, and we always joke about the unsaid, like the black man's nod. We pass each other, and right? You just that's the
Mhm.
agreement, right? So, but most importantly, it's how we are connected as a people when it
Right.
comes to culture, right? It's not an individual thing. So very important because we're in a place in North America in particular. We talk about Canada, um, but it's reflective that we do not learn about our culture in school, right? We know that
Mhm.
whether it's history or in math, we're left out of that aspect. Our contributions to humanity, are not something that's highlighted in many of the main places that we go into. So we recognize that it's important that we, in this case, as Black men, I would say, as a Black man, a Black father as well, that I take a lead in sharing that and helping to guide the younger generation around teaching what I know, and also pointing to other folks who are in other spaces that can help with that. But really coming from a cultured, centered place, because it could be the healthcare system. We see the challenges of the
Mhm.
fact that it's not a culturally connected kind of piece. um I mentioned that the schooling institution, justice. You go across the board, you look at childcare across the board. What's missing is a culturally centered and a culturally reflective approach to engaging us as people of African descent or Black people.
Okay. On on a scale of 0 to 10, where would you say Black culture is right now?
Hmm. Pretty loaded question. I almost want to say in the comments. It's loaded because Black culture is so wide, and it depends. There's so many aspects of things, right? But if I was to look at even what's known from what's not known, and I'm on my journey, I like what the ancestor Dr. Ben Yakutin said. When I peep through the keyhole of knowledge, I recognize how little I know. I
Mm,
think that is a thing that for all of us we're learning, and it's a matter of getting back to ourselves. That part of ourselves that was taken away. But 0 to 10, I definitely think that in terms of awareness, we're probably about a 3 on the scale.
right.
Yeah,
Got it.
probably 3. Yeah.
Got it. Well, a Facebook user says 100 out of 10. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well,
I
we
mean, in
need
a
you.
positive way, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we need you on every week. We need to have you on the show when you say 100 out of 10.
That's
That's
it.
fantastic. That is fantastic. Let me ask also for you, what are some of the topics just off the top of your head you are looking forward to having conversations on during Black Men Can Talk?
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely. So we know it's Movember,
Aye.
right? So we need to definitely focus on our health. You know, a taboo topic that a lot of Black men are not openly comfortable talking about, especially when it's personal health, like
Mm-hmm.
how are we doing? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I often bring it back to rites of passage as well. So us moving from, childhood to adulthood, when we were in our teenage days, we could do anything. We could play basketball all day, we could run all day, we could eat anything. It didn't impact us.
Right.
Right. So a lot of us now are in our, older stages of life, right? And things start happening. So it's hard for us to be humble to say, hey man, I can't, stay up all night and eat 5 pizzas and then in the
Jeez.
morning. You know what I'm saying? No, really. Or, I don't have the stamina that I used to have.
Right.
So I think health is definitely something we want to talk about, and sexual health as well,
Mm.
right? Definitely, we want to talk about family, right? We want to talk about brotherhood, right?
Yeah.
And many other things. We want to talk about seeing ourselves in different spaces, especially spaces that um, we don't typically see Black men, or we don't typically allow ourselves to imagine being in those spaces, right?
100%.
So, yeah, man.
No, I got you with that. I
Yeah.
think that the whole health aspect, your health is your wealth,
For
right?
sure.
And as I do mention to people, I'm a little bit of an outlier. I go, and not because I have any health challenges, big ones right now. I
Yeah.
go to my doctor every month.
Wow.
Because one, I realize that the way the health system's going, I got to take advantage of it while I can.
There you go. You're getting that quote unquote good free Canadian healthcare.
Well, that's the thing.
If you
And
were down south, that you'd have a big bill. Of
well, this is another thing too, right? Because we've got to look that, and we know we're going to have viewers more than just in Canada,
course.
right? And I strongly believe that the topics we're having conversation about will not just be Black men and those who love them, can
Yes.
relate all around the world,
Right.
right? I don't think it's going to be mainly, yes, Black Canadian men that are
Mhm.
going to be chatting, but I think all of us who are Black men can relate to that. But the health thing, especially during November, yeah, prostate cancer is a big thing. But when you talk to health, it's not just what you eat, it's how you live.
Right. Right.
Like not only
100%.
the physical, the mental, emotional, all those factors
Yeah.
come into play.
So let me ask you a couple questions, because again, the
Oh,
name
here
of
we
the
go.
show.
It's my turn now. All right, go
Listen,
for it.
you got to be on the hot seat, but of course, the
Okay.
name of the show is that Black Men Can Talk,
Yeah.
right? And you've been talking for a minute in the podcast space. So
Yeah.
let me ask you how important it is for Black men's voices to be heard in the podcast sphere.
Yeah. Well, and we just say shout out to Frequency Event Promotions. What is up?
Hey, what's going
And
on?
it says, greetings, talking legend, Sadat, aka Paul.
There you go. There you go.
Why is it important? Because for too many years, and it still is, we are having our stories defined to us.
Yes.
And I think that we have to define our story.
Okay. All right. All
That's
right.
that's why it's important for me that we have to just give me a second here. Okay.
Doing the technical
Good.
thing, folks. We're
No,
going back and
I'm
forth.
good. I'm good. No, but we
Right.
have to define our story,
Right. Right.
right? It's just really important to me. And it's still to this day, it has grown the number of Black men that are hosting conversations. The little bit of my concern, and this is just me, it's a
Right.
lot of the entertainment, sports, etc. It's
Right.
still very traditional.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I did see a turn starting during the pandemic,
Right.
because during the pandemic, a lot of Black men, we had nothing to do but to start developing relationships online.
Right. Right.
So it's certainly better than it was,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not where, in my opinion, where it should be. But what gives me enthusiasm is there are Black men that I used to have on this platform who now have started their own platform.
Dope. Dope. Dope.
So what
100%.
I'm looking for more is more young Black men.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are using social media for certain type of content, and everyone has their own thing. But you know what?
Right.
Especially in the events that have happened down in the United States, it's a lot of things have come to people's light that have been around for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we all, like when I first started out, it was really challenging. All I had was a laptop, a microphone, and a dream. Now, all you need to start one of these now is if you have this, you're good to go. You don't need the equipment I had. So
Right.
it's easier to get started, but there's still a lot of things that need, just in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, we need to have serious conversations, because we're in a very important challenge. So we got to, have you had a social media about hospice wives, men with declining health looking to finally settle down so they can,
Saw that.
you know what? That's a great, thank you for the suggestions.
I saw that. I saw that.
That's a huge conversation topic. And, you know, myself, Sadat, and Kofi, we've seen a lot of things, good and not so good. So we're also going to bring our own personal stories, or stories that we've been exposed to add. So these are the things we want. We want our audience to drive the ship. We just don't want, we'll steer the ship. We want you to drive the ship. Going back to this comment from the Facebook user about hospice wives.
Yes.
My godfather, a number of years ago, his health started to decline.
Right.
And a lot of people don't want to put the elderly in a nursing home because the
Huge
care
issues.
is right.
Huge
Care.
issues.
But he was financially well enough that he had 24/7 care for the last 3 years of his life at home.
See that? So that's a different swing, because I know this whole hospice wives things about, you know, having a younger woman take care of you when you're in your sickly state as an older man, right?
Yeah.
You know, but you know, I know it's social media, you know, and we want to kind of hit the trends as well. But definitely, I mean, it's not something that's strange to our community, and I think some other communities as well, as that something like this would happen. But I think, you know, there's always, this is my take on it. You know, we need to do a better job as Black men, and I'm gonna say this because I've seen this happen so much times. A better job of investing in the relationships when we were younger. And I'll say this.
You don't. This is just a primary. This is just an introductory show. You're going
I
in.
know because
no, I don't. No, I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
This is where we're going, because, and just to tell the people who are watching live on replay, not every conversation is going to just be us. Sometimes it will be myself, Paul, and Kofi. Sometimes we'll have a person come on who's guests. Like, I'm already thinking about bringing a gentleman on who I had on one of my other platforms. I think, Sadat, you saw the conversation, Dr. Joseph Corley, that I think we should reach out to him and have him on. He was really, really good.
100%.
So I don't want to interrupt you. So keep on going. I'm sorry.
No, really, because I've heard colleagues, you know, sisters and brothers talk about that particular challenge. That when you get to a particular, you get an older age as a Black man, but say you haven't, and it's gone both ways, I should say. So there's been Black men who have invested, let's say, in the lives of their children, and then their children, you know, when you're older, maybe you can't take care of yourself, or maybe you need that support. Then their children help to support them. You know what I mean? Like you said, whether you have the money to bring in the care, or you yourself say, you know, I'm going to take my parents in, or I'm going to live with my parents. Those are all real situations.
100%.
But then you have other situations where, because that investment has not been done when they were younger, right?
So
then
this is
older.
Really huge point. Really
it
huge
comes to
point.
balance.
So for those, especially Black men who have kids,
Yeah,
I'm saying if you don't invest in the relationship with your children while they're young,
yeah.
you may end up when you get older and need help, they're not going to want to help you.
That's why they're going to the hospice wives. That's why. That's why they go in there. Not
Right?
to joke about it, but that's an example, right? So maybe you don't have children, but it's just the different relationships that, like anything, you have to invest, right? And it will grow and support you, right? Life is a
100%.
cycle.
No,
It's not.
100%. I think it's really important. The to me, relationships are everything.
Yeah,
It's everything.
yeah,
Personal, professional, business, because you and I have probably seen elderly that are by themselves.
yeah, for sure, for sure. And you know what? I won't even go to the elderly piece, right? I'm gonna say this. Right?
Ah,
My brother Brandon, hey, and we're gonna have you on the show, Brandon. I know your ears are burning. If people don't know about Black Daddy's Club, look at
but
it.
but
One of
you
the
see,
things I like that he's
go ahead.
talking about, and the phenomena of the loneliness of Black men,
Ooh,
right?
ooh.
I'm not gonna get into it, but
Oh,
it's definitely an epidemic. Loneliness of Black men.
okay, you know what? I'm putting that down on my digital notepad. I'm going to email Joe Corley after that to see if he's available next Sunday
All right, all right.
on that topic, because and we have to go. Let's go deeper. That on average, Black men do not live as long as Black women,
There you go.
right? And the loneliness, it can be. That's a whole conversation
There you
topic in
go. There you
itself.
go.
The loneliness of Black men, because if I had a book here, if I had a book, I need a book or something. I wish I had a book here, but
You might have to
yeah,
go digital, brother.
no, 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 no.
You might have to
I
find one of
got.
these.
I'll get something. I'll get something. Okay,
Yeah,
got something. I got an old iPad.
there you go.
You don't know what's going on underneath the cover.
So I'm gonna put it out there to people too. Please, in the chats or whatnot, let us know what you want to.
Actually, even better,
Go ahead.
email me. There you go.
Look at the technology.
And what we'll probably do is, well, and again, we're just getting it out of the box. We'll create a proper email address for the show.
Okay.
So we'll go to the branding and all that stuff. But definitely want to get your input. Right now, just email me. By next week, there'll be a proper email address for the show. Everything will start. It's a journey, not a race. We'll have a lot of things that will roll out next week, but we just wanted to get some stuff on and get things going, because we can't fool around. This has been waiting too long.
There you
And
go.
we said, let's just get the party started.
Let's get it started.
So yeah, I think that so even as we speak, as you see, people know me, I change things in real time. So
There you go.
see this? There we go.
It's real.
Black Men Can Talk, proper labeling, branding, etc.
There you go.
But the whole end of loneliness and Black men, hospice wives,
Mm,
and that, in fact, that's a new one to me a little bit.
yeah.
So and
It's
again,
trending. It's trending now. It's just like basically having a young wife to take care of you, right?
but that, okay, not going too deeply into that has always been like a cultural thing. There's always the age spread, right? About older, in this case, older Black man, younger Black woman, intentions, etc., all that kind of stuff. That's always been a subject and topic. I think another area that we'd love to get someone on is, again, if we can, get Wayne Harris on talking about fatherhood and finances.
That's it. This is it.
Life insurance, all those sort of things. So as you can see, between Paul's community and my constellation and Kofi's constellation, we have a myriad of people going to come on here and share thoughts to educate, empower, enlighten, and entertain you.
100%. 100%.
We've got, and they may not all be Canadian based, but the hosts are Black Canadian male based.
100%. 100%. So, and again, if there are folks, again, this is going to be across Canada. So if there are folks that you think we should be speaking to, please let us
100%.
know at the Dr.
100%.
Vibe. Yeah, let
Yeah,
us
get in
know.
contact with me. But next week, there'll be a different email address. We'll just have contact at blackmencantalk.com, something like that, for
Yeah,
you to send in uh, just comments, etc., feedback. I'm actually thinking, yeah, we'll get this going along the way. They'll just add things as we go along the journey.
right.
But I'm really excited about this upcoming conversation. Let's see who is. Facebook says women are turning away from this idea, men giving their best years to the streets and then settling down when they have little. Whoa!
This is it. This is it, bro. It's investment, man. Is your investment coming in, right? Because
Wow.
yeah,
This
yeah,
this is a Facebook user. I don't know who you are, but
that's
you are
okay.
coming.
That's okay.
You don't matter. No, you're coming in with knowledge bombs.
Yeah, yeah,
And goes, I would love to hear more about the loneliness epidemic. It's so important. All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's there as I there's a gentleman who helped me along my journey about knowing more about black fathers, black men. He said many years ago there's a lot of black men that are screaming and nothing's coming out.
100%. 100%.
And um interesting conversation a few years ago, an associate of mine was having a conversation with a black man that we know. I'm not going to give their name. And he asked this gentleman, do you have life insurance?
Mm.
And he looked at him like, what are you talking about? And this gentleman who he asked the question to, he has 3 or 4 kids, no life insurance,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
single father.
yeah. So one of the things I want to share, because I was talking to one of my brothers about this, around this epidemic of loneliness, where you can actually be surrounded by people
And be
and
lonely.
be lonely.
Yes.
When I look at it, and I'm pretty sure you can associate with this too. So my background is Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican Maroon
Same
heritage,
here.
right? So Caribbean. So one
Yep.
of the stereotypes that we remember, or one of the realities, I shouldn't stereotype. One of the realities was often you would see, or you wouldn't see, dad would be in the basement playing his records,
Oh,
right?
jeez. Have you met my
Drinking his
dad?
drink, right? And everybody else was upstairs. And we thought, oh, that's his dad, right? Okay, whatever the case is.
You sure you haven't met my dad?
Listen, man, we know how it goes, bro. Don't touch my records. Don't touch my
Look,
records.
my
So
dad had man cave long before. My dad.
listen,
Okay,
he
look,
invented the
come on,
man cave.
look. My dad
Yeah.
is a member of the Vinyl Record Collectors of America Hall of Fame.
Listen. Dub plates and all. They're making records down there, dub plates, you know what I mean? Rinsing out sound. What I'm pointing to though is there was a loneliness too and a separation. And a lot of us have inherited that. So in other words, dad in the basement, don't
Yep.
trouble him, don't trouble his records, stay upstairs with the family, right? And as the years go on, you recognize that there was a loneliness because there was no one for, let's say in this case, dad to connect with, right? And then you get older, you get less brethren. So, maybe in the beginning, but people get older, people die, whatnot. And I find there's a lot of younger men that have expressed this whole phenomena of, yo, bro, I got people around me, but I don't, I feel alone because I cannot share, right? Like you say, like screaming into the wind. No one's hearing you, right? And people
So
have been afraid to even open their mouths. So the loneliness epidemic is a serious thing when it comes to young black men and older black men,
so then
right?
Sadat, let me ask you. Oh, BM says, LO, I get that. I had my dad in the basement with music and mom upstairs playing piano for hours on end. My dad was born and raised, but I relate
This is what I'm
100%.
saying.
So
That's it.
so let me ask Sadat, do you have at least one brother that whether you have a good day or bad day, you can speak with them?
Yeah, I do.
Same here.
I do. Right. But again, I would say it is still an ongoing challenge,
Oh yeah.
even for me, as a black man, because you can reach out to your brethren and so, which we should do, right? But again, the stigma of we have to be the lone wolf, we can't show any weakness.
Well, and you know what? I don't have. I mean, I should run and get the book. This is some of the thought process that started me on my journey, and I'll show it next week. The book that influenced me on my Black men's journey is a book called Black Men, Obsolete, Single and Dangerous, Stories of
Yeah.
the Black African American Family in Transition. I'll bring it out next week and show it on the screen. That book was written back in 1990. It is still relevant today. And one of the main themes about that in that book was European, North American culture is based on the individual. African culture is based on the tribe, the community. And this author said that a lot of Black men are trying to put a round peg into a square hole.
100%. And we trust me, and that is a phenomenon that we struggle with it, because the other part with that is that there might be a different thinking between a Eurocentric and an Afrocentric way or African-centered way of thinking. However, we've been in the sauce for so long, we've been in this place that we've taken on
Absolutely
that mindset, that culture, that value. 100%. So we want to move like an individual, but like you said, that doesn't work for us. You know, we're
and I think too, well, Facebook user says, how come dad didn't come upstairs and be with the family though? There, oh boy. Yeah, well, you know what? And I guess, and this will probably come with our conversation about our relationship with our fathers. I think we need to do a conversation, us, myself, Kofi, and yourself, about our relationship with our fathers. I think, you know, bring that to the table, because when growing up, my relationship wasn't the best with my, not what I wanted it to be. He thought it was great.
Right.
But I didn't think it where I wanted, and it didn't. It changed, unfortunately, when he survived a quadruple bypass surgery. That's what it took.
It happens. It happens. It's usually a major event, and I'm saying that because I know myself, and Kofi also has a story as well, right? But I think so. I went to do a workshop this week at York University Black Students Association. I didn't know this workshop was for young Black men. I just thought it was for general Black students.
Sure.
The long story short, nobody showed up, and the exact here's the thing. I didn't put it out there. It was they put it out there, right? So I don't know who they're inviting. So, but what happened? I had a long conversation with one of the execs, who was a female, right? And I said to her, "Well, if it was for young men, what did you guys do to attract them? Right? Did you meet them where they're at?
Yeah.
What are they interested in? Right?" And she said, "You know what? You just asking me these questions is just shifting the way I'm thinking." Because they didn't do any of that. They didn't do any intel and connection, anything like that, because they were like, well, whatever we're doing works for us. Therefore, we'll leave it at that. So I'm saying to myself, here we are at a university campus, you know, some of our, you know, young men who are studying to be this, that, and the other, who also, you know, doesn't matter the environment, will have their challenges of connecting as young Black men. They need so-and-so, but they don't feel there's a space there for them.
I just want to just interrupt you. I think it's important that it's a safe and brave space.
Yeah, for sure. What I saw happening, and you know, as a person was saying, where was, you know, the Black dad who didn't come upstairs? What I saw when I walked into that space was a very welcoming space for the sisters that were there. They were braiding each other's hair, right? They were talking this and that and so and so. And I was like, yo, this is a nice space. Like I said, I didn't know that it was a space for us as well, right? I thought it was just a sister space, right? And then I'm like, okay, well, all right, we need to do our research and figure out, again, like I tell people, I'm a vegetarian. If you invite me to your house and all you have is meat and you know I'm a vegetarian, then you didn't invite me for dinner. Am I lying?
But you know, but it's an important word you just said, research.
Yeah, do your research.
You know, do your research. I hear you 150% in regards to that. I think that, you know, in that situation that you mentioned about York University, obviously they didn't do their research.
Yeah.
It's
not a criticism either.
No, it's just
she was humble. She was just like, yo,
look, I had a great experience a few weeks ago with an organization. And I think I told you, myself and about 5 other Black men chaperoned about 25 to 30 young Black men down to the University of Windsor.
Yes.
And they have a Black Studies Department, like whole thing.
Yes.
And the gentleman who runs it, a black man, he was amazing. He said, anytime you guys want to come down here, here's my phone number, here's my card. I will take you around campus, whatever you need. Like you could tell that he was invested in them.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it. That's what we need, right? Eldership, right? Stepping into our eldership. That's another topic.
Here's Facebook here. It's so interesting. We think that men have all the power, but they often seem powerless to change what society has burdened them with. Another conversation topic, Black men in power.
There you go.
You know, if you never identify yourself properly, you're giving great content for a future conversation. So you make sure you keep on dropping in. But yeah, Black men in power. Do they have any?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, do we have any? But it's so true that a lot of it is looking in and having that honest conversation with self.
Right.
You know, but anything else before we shut it down? I think we probably went longer than we thought we would, but this is how passionate we are about this.
Thanks to Facebook user.
Yes, like you gave us 3 or 4 conversation topics on the ones we already have. But any final words you have for the family?
Yeah, man. You know, thank you folks for definitely tuning in. Thank you, Dr. Vibe, for being here and holding space, you know, brother to brother. And yeah, definitely stay tuned next week and the coming weeks. We're going to be having some good topics, some good guests lined up. We're ready to go. We're here to give voice to, you know, our brothers, our community. And yeah, we're here for that. And again, you know, I mean, this is a safe, brave space.
No judgment.
You know, no judgment. You know, but, you know, we want to bring a lot of understanding to the space. So, yeah, giving thanks to everybody.
Well, good. Great, everybody. I want to say thank you, first of all, for taking the most important thing you have in your life, your time, to hang out with us. So I would suggest that you bookmark wherever you're watching this, or better subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook, so you'll get notifications on upcoming conversations. Facebook user says, I got to make sure this is wonderful. It's wonderful to listen to 2 smart brothers. I'm looking forward to this series of conversations. Thank you much. Well, I have a favor to ask to you. If you can, share it out to other people. So we'll be on Sunday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If we're not live, we'll have a replay up, but there will be continuous conversation. And as I said, hosted by 3 Black Canadian men. The guests may be, though, from all over the place, because the message is universal, right? The message is universal. So I want to say Frequency Event Promotions, great show. And also, too, if any of you would like to come on, initially
Frequency is already on. Frequency, I got you lined up. Don't worry about it.
All right. So you can email me right here at this email address. Next week it'll be, you know, contact or something at blackmencantalk.com on all the emails that come to me. We can make those, any comments, queries, etc. And that's it for now. So this is.
Can I just promote one last?
You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want.
One last thing. So we talked about health at the top of this.
Yep.
And definitely health is one of the pieces. So we, you know, myself and some other folks, we are we're doing a natural health and wellness fair.
What date is that coming on?
That's November 29th, Friday. There we go.
There you go.
So National Health and Wellness Fair, November 29th, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. C Center, 75 Thermos Road in the Borough, better known as Scarborough.
You know what I tell people? Scarborough.
Scarborough.
You and I have been around in Scarborough long. We can call it Scarborough.
Scarberia for those who think
no, they can call it Beria. Okay, you and I, brah, them, Scarborough or Scarberia, we are Scarborough.
There you go. So again, Natural Health and Wellness Fair, November 29th. We're going to be focusing on, you know, health, wellness, you know, diet, exercise, you know, information, products, services, all those good pieces. And I will continue to update it. We got some great folks that will be sharing, you know, some insights. We did something this week on sorrel and the health properties of sorrel, right? So yeah, come out, check it out. We want to see people there. And again, your health is your wealth. You're born with it, you die with it, but in between, you want to nourish it, right? So come on out, please.
100%. All right, so what we'll do here, let me just do that and remove. All right. And Frequency Event Promotion says the last fair was amazing.
There you go. Thank you for coming out and supporting it. Great to see you there.
All right. So family, this is it. We are done. And as always, I always say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember, don't just manage your time, manage your energy. And remember to give yourselves grace. Those last two things are really important. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Don't be busy. Be purposeful, be positive, productive, but make sure you also give yourself grace. God bless. Peace to you all. Keep the faith. Walk good, and we will see you next week. And you'll notice things are changing. Later.